Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to a new content creator. He started doing videos about 3 weeks ago, soap opera reviews, named DC. I will leave his profile or his YouTube channel in the description box below. Definitely check him out. I was watching a little bit of the review yesterday. It was actually pretty good. He's pretty funny. And I definitely always like to sit there and support other content creators, especially ones that do soap opera reviews. I think is actually really cool. Having another guy sit there and talk about soap operas, General Hospital, Y&R and stuff like that. So, yeah, be pretty cool. I was sitting there thinking about before, like me, Brock TV, and now this guy, so it could be like the trio. So yes, definitely check them out. So with that being said, let's start off with Jason and Britt. I want Jason to be like my mentor, like my spiritual mentor, because the way, like, I love the quote that he says, the future is an idea, it's not a guarantee. And I don't know why, but I just like that quote so much. So, Britt is not doing well, understandably. You know, she got hit with that news. And, you know, the thing about this Huntington's disease is that it can happen at any point in time. You know, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 5 minutes, you know. And I'm not going to lie, that does kind of suck as far as, like, you know, them giving her that diagnosis, you know, because it's like it could happen at any point in time. And I do like seeing her, you know, like her with Jason and stuff like that, the way they bounce off each other, like, you know, their personalities and stuff like that. I really do like that. So it's like, in some ways I was like, what the hell is the writer Smith there thinking about? But the whole point of what Jason was sitting there trying to get through her, which she did, was that, you know, listen, just treat every day like it's your last, you know, treat every day like it's a gift. And he does eventually want to get through to her. And he definitely does get through to her, because, after he gets through her, and she smiles and she laughs and stuff like that, we all knew it was coming, okay? We all knew it was coming, and the minute he kissed her, I was just like, well, so who's Sam? Like, what's going on with that? I just stood there and I laughed. I mean, I laughed with enjoyment, but I was like, well, he definitely got over Sam. So that's cool. That's good, and I can't wait for Sam to sit there and find out that news. That's going to be good. That's going to be good. Out of the three of us, I got to sit there and say I am definitely Mr. Petty. But, yeah, so that was a good scene. That was a good scene. Everyone was waiting for it. By the way, sorry it took so long to actually do this review. But they cut my, well, out here, they cut it off half an hour in. So, yeah, I was either trying to sit there and find it online or wait till 8 o'clock for it to be on Hulu, and I did not feel like waiting till 8 o'clock to watch it. So, yes. But yeah, good moment, good scene. Everyone who was there rooting for them to get, you know, to get together, to hook up, it happened. And, well, it didn't take as long as we thought it was going to. It didn't take as long as I thought it was going to be. So, that was cool. Oh, Gladys. Oh, Gladys. You know, throughout this entire scene, I did not feel sorry for her once. Throughout this entire scene, I didn't feel sorry for her. The only person in that room I felt sorry for is Brando. Okay? Cyrus, I really like Cyrus as a villain. Okay? Cyrus as a villain is great because he is one of those people that's like, he's beyond redemption, okay? There is no redemption arc for Cyrus. I don't see that happening anytime soon. So at this point, Brandon's like, all right, so what's going on? Like, what could I do to sit there and like get my mother free from this? You know. And Cyrus is going on. You know, he does the villain speech. You know, he's like, oh, you know, she wanted to run to the cops and turn me in. And then towards the end of this, Cyrus says something that, well, we pretty much all know. You know, I mean, well, not that we pretty much all knew, but it was just like, I can't disagree with one thing that Cyrus is there saying about Gladys, as far as her selling her soul, selling who she is to the highest bidder. You know, just being a parasite. Gladys the parasite. You know, that's such a shame, because I actually really do love that name Gladys, and it just sucks that it actually has to be put on her. But Cyrus is like, listen, you either take care of your mother, or I have somebody else do it, and they can take care of Sasha and your baby. Because by the way, at this point, he already knows that Sasha's baby is you know, Brando. Because out of nowhere, out of the blue, you know, Cyrus is now super obsessed with Sasha, because I don't really know why, actually, at this point. I guess they just said, the writers were just like, we gotta do it this way, and this is just gonna make sense to, like, someone. But yeah, he's like, you know, you either kill her, or I'll do it painfully, and I'll make sure that Sasha, you know, she gets it too. So what are you gonna do? So he gives Brando the gun. I knew how this scene was going to play out automatically. You know, Brando's sitting there looking at his mother with tears in his eyes. Because, you know, we didn't feel bad enough for Brando. But of course, he turns it around and he points it at Cyrus. Because, you know, Cyrus is going to give him a loaded gun. No, this was just a test. You know the sad part? The sad part is, I think that even if Brando was to sit there and shoot Gladys, Cyrus would have shot him anyway. Because Cyrus would have sat there and be like, damn, I mean, I know I gave you the gun to sit there and shoot her, but I didn't think you was actually going to do it. Oh, there's no way I could sit there and trust you now. I mean, you just shot your own mother. So, there's no good way that this is going to end. Meanwhile, you got Carly just frantic at this point, because she's like, yo, her was like my, you know, way of getting Jason out of this whole mess. So she calls up Spinelli, which Spinelli isn't there talking to Maxie, and of course Maxie is about to sit there and tell him the plan, but of course it gets interrupted because plot. But yeah, Carly called Spinelli and was like, yo, you gotta get over here now. And at first, you know, Spinelli was like, could this wait till like a little bit later, because I'm kind of in the middle of something. But it didn't matter, because, you know, Maxie was kind of relieved that she didn't have to sit there and tell Spinelli the plan, because of course Spinelli was going to sit there and say, no, it's a bad idea, it's dangerous, don't do it, I have another way. And Maxie was like, yeah, that's cool, but that way, whatever that way was going to take too long. So, no. So she was happy that he got the call. And of course it works out for everyone involved anyway, if Spinelli could sit there and find out where Gladys is. So he comes over there. They try to find the phone. Of course the phone is in the room. The cameras are looped. But Carly's like, no, I gave her a burner phone. You know, like that she didn't know about or whatever, apparently. And Spinelli's able to sit there and track it. So with that being said, Carly sends in the team of goons at this point. You know, sends in the team. Well, she calls for the order to send in the team. So hopefully this team is going to get there before before Brando's actually dead. Which, let's be honest, I don't think Brando's actually going to die. I think the fans like him way too much to actually have him killed. But you know who might actually die? Gladys. Gladys might actually die. I think most likely Gladys will die. And let's just be honest. And I know I'm going to sound like a dick for saying this, but I really don't care. I mean, she sold out her own son to sit there and get more money. But I will feel bad for Brando, because when the whole dust settles tomorrow, I'm assuming, well, somebody's gonna be dead. Okay, somebody's gonna be dead. Somebody's gonna be injured, and yeah. Sasha meets up with Willow and tells her that, yeah, she is pregnant, but she can't sit there and say who the father is. Willow just kind of informs everyone and Sasha that no change has been happening to Chase, and, you know, was pretty much about it. And it's so odd, because it's like Willow came in for like one scene, one tiny little scene, didn't really do anything, didn't really contribute, but she was there, because contracts at this point. Now Nurse Jenny's, I think that's her name, Nurse Jenny's, or whatever the hell her name is. She's, kind of ballsy there. I mean, she's sitting there talking to Peter like the last nurse was not in the garbage. So she's all like, oh, like, because Peter's getting kind of frantic. He's like, yo, do you have everything in set? Do you have everything in motion? Like, what's going on? You took too long to get here. And Jenny's acting like she's on top of the world, like, hey, listen, if you don't like what I'm doing, then you can get somebody else. But good luck finding somebody close to your, to your girlfriend's due date. She's walking around like she's untouchable. I'm sitting there thinking, so could that garbage chute like could it fit one more person in there? Because I feel like this chick is going to be in that garbage, or going to be in a nearby garbage. Now she's sitting there joking around like, oh, don't worry, I got everything set out. I know, I can only imagine what you wind up doing to me. It's like, no, we can imagine what he's going to do to you when you're done with your job. Maybe. I mean, seriously, he killed the other woman for little to no reason. This girl's giving him attitude. It'd be kind of odd if he doesn't actually, So I guess we'll just wait and see. Now, she does wind up coming over to Maxie's place, which Maxie's calling Brooklyn, to set up her final, arrangements and everything like that. Now, it's weird. Is Beecher's Corners, or wherever that place is that in Canada? Because I have this weird feeling like they're gonna be, well, they're supposed to be rendezvousing at Beecher's Corners, and that's where Jason and Britt are. So unless I got that wrong, because there's so many moving pieces, I feel like I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Jenny comes over, and she, puts Maxie to sleep with this needle. So I guess Peter's plan is kind of working out a little bit. But it's kind of odd, because Peter's plan is supposed to be working out, but it's like, when the episode starts, it's like 6 hours before or something like that. 6 hours before. And we see, and I forgot to sit there and say this yesterday, we see Peter, falling down the steps, blood on the ground. He just looks like he's done. So I don't know if he's done, or if he's just, out cold. I say that because I know that him and Laura Wright are dating. I don't know how much pull she has on the show. But with that being said, I don't know how long Peter's character is going to last. I do hope he does last a little bit long. I do like Peter as a villain. GH actually have been pretty good with the villain so far, more or less. I mean, listen, no villain is going to be as good as Elena Cassadine. I mean, that woman just strikes fear in everyone's heart. They need to get a good villain like that. I mean, she was around in like the 90s and the 80s, and I don't know, probably before I was born. But the point is, like, they need to get another villain as good as Elena Cassadine. They got a good villain for like Sunny, but they need to get a good villain, because Elena was everyone's villain. Like she was everyone's villain. So I know I'm kind of going off tangent, but I think I was meant to talk about Peter. So yeah. Nixon falls. So the cop comes over and he's questioning Sonny like, hey, listen, Elijah said that you and Nina broke into his office and were stealing stuff. So you want to tell me what that's about? Now Lenny comes in and, Sonny's not sitting there saying too much. He keeps sitting there saying, oh, I don't know anything about computers. I'm just a bartender. Yada, yada, yada. I don't know what's going on. But then at this point, he winds up telling the officer and Lenny about Elijah and his plans and as far as what he's going to do. Lenny is unsure what's going on. But he's like, listen, if Nina's in trouble and I didn't do anything, I'm going to regret it. Phyllis is going to regret it. So he does something to distract the cop as far as checking out some sort of fire or hydrant or something like that. And Sonny tries to go and rescue Nina. Now, Nina is... Look, I need something else to drink. Nina is under this impression that she can still sit there and try to pull off whatever she's trying to pull off with Elijah, as far as trying to, like, sweet talk him and distract him and try to get more information out of him. Talking about all the recent crimes and stuff like that that's going on in Nixon Falls. And just really isn't there trying to play out. Now, at this point, she doesn't know that Elijah already is on to her and Sonny and makes a little comments like, oh, I thought you and him were a team, and I thought you and him were together, and yada, yada, yada. Now, long story short, there's one point where Nina is trying to get away, or she's trying to do something. Nina has the papers, the evidence, the stuff that she collected at the office, at Elijah's office, in her purse. When I saw those papers drop, I was like, yo, is this chick serious? She couldn't just leave it in her room, leave it with Sonny, anywhere. She's just walking around with stolen stuff from Elijah, and you plan on... I'm like, you can't be this stupid. You can't be this stupid. And the reason why I sit there and say is because she's walking around... There's one point where Elijah's sitting there talking about how he told the sheriff or the cop or whatever about Sonny and his activities. And, Nina... Here's the thing. Nina is trying to come across like she's trying to protect Sonny. Like, oh, you act like you really know a lot about him or about his background and stuff like that. I felt like what she was really doing was trying to cover her own ass. Like trying to misdirect him. Like, oh, well, you don't really know a lot about Sonny. Like, he's not a bad person, yada, yada, yada. Like, she's trying to deflect. And I feel like she's trying to do it in, like, the name of protecting Sonny. But in reality, she's doing it because, let's be honest, if Sonny gets arrested and they find out who Sonny is, her whole plan, or whatever her plan was in the beginning, comes crashing down, and, well, we all know what's going to wind up happening at that point. I mean, I almost forgot about that damn cake, which, yes, that's still going to happen. But her plans come crashing down. So I felt like when she was sitting there talking to Elijah about that, it's like she was trying to do this double talk. And it just was like, what are you doing? So at this point, the evidence drops on the ground, and she's all like, oh, well, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell the cops, yada, yada, yada. Nina, you, me, and him know that even if you come to the cops with those papers, it's not going to really prove anything. And even Elijah's like, yeah, that's not going to really do anything. But when Nina tries to leave, Elijah, grabs her hand, grabs her wrist. I don't really understand how this scene works. He grabs her wrist like, you're not going anywhere. Like this... I can't really describe... Like, what is that going to do? You grabbed her wrist. What is that going to stop her from, like, kicking you in the jewels? Like, what is that going to do? Anyway, he stops her. And that's pretty much where it ends. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think I really missed anything. If I did, write down in the comment section below. This was definitely a really interesting, really good, really good episode. I feel like I'm losing my words for some reason. Yeah, so this was actually a pretty good episode. I feel like this week is gonna be really good because, I mean, we all see the next scenes where Jason and Brett, well, we already know where that's gonna go, and I'm looking forward towards it. I really am looking forward towards it. I haven't been looking forward towards a scene like this in a while. And usually granted, I find these scenes really funny, like the love-making scenes really funny. But this one in particular, I'm going to enjoy, and we all know why. So, with that being said, let me know what your comments are. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. As I said before, I will be linking DC's channel in the description box also, which I don't normally do. Sometimes, you know, as far as to shout out other channels and stuff like that. But I do like his channel so far. And, you know, he just started like a couple weeks ago, and he seems like he's, like, I like the way he does his reviews and stuff like that, or reviews / recaps, which I think that everyone does. But yeah, so definitely check out his channel. And with that being said, I'm gonna go. Also, Brock TV also did that for me too as well when I first started out. So that's my guy, and I always sit there and watch his channel, and I'm always eternally grateful. So that's just me, you know. I feel like there's passing a good. Hold on. I feel like there's something that I'm at a loss for words. And I'm not gonna sit there and redo this. Paying it forward. Oh my god, I cannot believe I actually forgot that. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me rant for like a good 30 seconds, because that was pretty fun. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next video.